up, everyone? Hello, and good morning. This is Gearing Up. Normally on Mondays, I do what's called the Monday morning commute, but we're not living in a time of normal, so that's not happening. Oop, sorry. Getting used to the desk setup. I just got to work, aka sat down in my home office, and I'm sitting at the computer and trying to get used to this, but I just wanted to jump on. I know normally Mondays I do an episode where I sit and chat and drive to work, and I've kind of missed those lately, so wanted to kind of get back to some kind of routine around this. In case you guys missed it, I just posted a really great episode, if I do say so myself, with notorious EDC Tom Medvedich. Great friend, good guy. He's living in New York. I mean, he lives in New York, like living temporarily. No, he's in New York, and so it was cool to hear a different perspective on what's happening. And I say cool, it was interesting. And we talked a lot about everyday carry and what's going on and all of that stuff. So it was really great. It was really fun. It was nice to sit down and chat with someone. We did like a little over an hour, but it was nice to sit down and chat with someone that has similar interests and could not risk infecting me. So, props to Zencaster for the service. This is not a sponsorship or anything like that. Shout out if they want to. I'm all open for it. But we used Zencaster, and it was kind of a trial run, which was pretty cool. But right now they're doing unlimited guests and recording time. So, again, if you're a podcaster and you're listening to this and you don't know about Zencaster, here you go. But I'm actually thinking about doing a few more of these. I need to reach out and ask a couple people today. But it's super simple. Like, as long as you have a microphone, whether it's like the one built in or like headphones or something like that, all you have to do is click a link. Like, I send you the link, you click it, and then we're talking. And then I can hit record and we can record a podcast. So it was pretty cool. So shout out to Tom for letting me nerd out a little bit and ask him a bunch of questions and sharing all his info and all that stuff. So it was pretty neat. But other than that, life is still pretty crazy right now. We're, I don't know how many weeks into working from home I'm at. Let me pull up the calendar. Because I bet I can tell you. I feel like we had... When did we have the clay shoot? That was the 13th. And we came back. I started... So this is 1 week, 2. This is the start of week 3 for me, I think. And man, it has just been different, to say the least. Like, I'm very blessed in that I have a job where I can do all this from home, and it gives me time to sit down and do things like this, and that's great. And my wife, unfortunately, is still having to go into work. She works in the medical field, so she's considered essential for now. I don't know how much longer she'll be going in. Hopefully they'll get serious and anyways. But for the most part, it's been good. We're doing okay. I'm doing my best to limit my trips out, and I'm trying to go to the grocery store as little as possible, and lots of hand washing and hand sanitizer and stuff like that. And I hate getting on and talking about it. And when I wanted to do an interview with Tom, it was not, I didn't want to sit down and just talk about the coronavirus for 30 minutes, but when that's all that's going on and that's kind of front of mind, like that's kind of just what you have to talk about. There's not much else to talk about. So, we talked about it. And again, I'm trying to come on and limit how much I talk about it, but unfortunately there's just not any way around it. I did want to do a super quick walkthrough on some really great budget options. So one of the things I've noticed, people are spending a lot less right now. They're not really sure. But I thought it would be cool to jump on and do like 2 or 3 knives that are pretty inexpensive. and the reason behind that is, number one, if you're trying not to spend as much right now and really save, but you need to make a purchase, you need a knife, or if you're just trying to scratch that itch and you want to check something out, I've put together what I consider kind of the top 3 budget blades in my opinion. Now there are some honorable mentions, and we'll go through those first. But none of these are in any kind of order, so don't hate me if I throw your knife in last or something like that. So honorable mention. So what I wanted to do, a list of budget blades, and by budget, $50 and under. So for less than $50, here's what you can get, and most of these are even below that. So it's not like it's 10 knives that are $49.99 plus shipping plus tax plus all that crap now. So anyways, honorable mentions. Obviously, I've mentioned this knife before. I think when I've done, a budget podcast, and that's the Ontario Rat. There's the Rat Model 1, the Rat Model 2. Both are incredible. The Rat Model 1 is just a bit large for my liking, so I like the Model 2. It's a little bit smaller. Because the Model 2 is a 3-inch, and the Model 1 is a 3.625 inch. So it's a big knife. But anyways, so Ontario Rat, I'm looking at them on Blade HQ right now. The Rat 2 in D2 is $38 for the Coyote Brown, and then the Model 2 in the lesser steel. I don't know if it's Oz 8 or what it is, but it's $28. Like, if you're really not into steels and you really don't care, that's insane. $27.95 for the black on black, and if you just want the satin blade, it's $27.50. So to me, this is a great knife, great starter knife. I've handled a few Rats in my day, and the action always impresses me for the price. Like, it's incredible. It doesn't leave a whole. It leaves a whole lot to be desired in terms of design. It's a pretty plain and basic knife, not a whole lot of flash. But again, if you're looking for something that's functional, this is the route to go. So that's honorable mention number 1. The other one I wanted to mention is CRKT has 2 that I wanted to bring up in the honorable mention. The Squid, which is a Burnley design. Excuse me, that was disgusting. So the Squid is, I'm trying to find it here on Blade HQ. That's a Burnley design. It's $24.95. $25. It's not any kind of crazy super steel. It's not insane materials. It's a very low frills knife, but for $25, it's a killer design. It's small. It's super pocketable. It's great for EDC, so highly recommend that one. And then the other one is the, I think it's a Vox design, the Pillar, Pilar, Pilar. Okay. But there's a ton of different variations of it. There's the small, there's the large, there's the flipper. I personally just like the regular old frame lock stainless 2.4 inch. It's $29.95. So it's $30 and you're getting a cool design, really nice pocketable EDC blade. And I can't recommend it enough. I'm trying to think. CRKT has a bunch of really good, like the Burnley tuna is $45. Really cool design, really good knife, a little bit larger if you're into that. Because the ones that, like the Squid and the Pillar they're on the smaller side. So, unless you get the large Pillar, which is still on the small side, 2.6 inch blade. Yeah, pretty small. Anyways, so those are kind of the honorable mentions I wanted to go through. Now for my number 3. And that is another one from CRKT. This is one that I have gotten, sold, and got back, and that is the CEO. Now it's I say polarizing. It's not polarizing. It's not like there are people that are like anti-CEO. It's a very unique design. It's designed by Richard Rogers. Richard Rogers. God, I can't. Richard Rogers. I think it's Richard. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways, very cool design. It's like a gentleman's folder, super slim, super sleek. The only thing that I don't like about it is it's tipped down, and that's not, swappable, unfortunately. But it kind of just disappears in your pocket. It's a zero bulk, super lightweight. It's a little bit longer blade than I normally carry, but it's so thin and light that it's just, again, you kind of just forget about it. And what really sells this thing is the freaking action. Oh my god, the action on this thing is insane. It's bearings and the D10 is really nice and dialed in, and so it's a thumb stud opening, so there's no flipper sticking out or anything like that. But it's such a fun knife, and out of the box from the factory, it's very drop shutty if you're into that kind of action. But I've just enjoyed carrying it, and I've enjoyed fidgeting with it, and like I said, it's kind of a unique design. It's very slim, very very thin and long, very toothpicky. But for $39, it's a cool design. It's designed by a really talented maker, Richard Rogers, and it's just a fun knife. Now I don't use it a whole lot because I don't think I could fit it in my sharpener. I try to just strop it every time I end up using it. So it's just such a thin, small, very narrow blade. But highly recommend checking it out. It's on the top of my list for now. Not literally the top, but it's just in this list of 3, it made the cut for sure. The next one is one that I've talked about on the podcast before, and that is the Civivi Elementum. Civivi has been making some really great stuff, and looking at Blade, of course, this happens right now. Looking at Blade HQ, they're all completely sold out, so that sucks. But the Elementum D2, I believe it's bearings, and just a really basic, no frills knife. It's a flipper, not a huge flipper tab, so it's not super annoying. But unfortunately, it's all sold out. So let me see if I can find a different one. I know they've got the McKenna that I've been wanting to try, but sorry, got an email. Just go to Blade HQ and look at Civivi. There's something for everyone, and just in terms of pricing, it's incredible what they've put out value-wise. So, like the Wyvern. I've had a Wyvern. I did a flipper delete on one of the Wyverns, and detent was super crisp. I loved it. And it's $49. Like, can't go wrong with that. What else did they have? They have the McKenna. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worthwhile. But yeah, the Wyvern, man, I did a Rit dye on the scales and darkened up the blade and got rid of that flipper tab. Man, that thing was crisp. That was a fun mod. But yeah, highly recommend checking out Civivi in general. But the Elementum, if you can get your hands on one, like I said, looks like they're all sold out right now. But highly recommend that one. And then the very last one is a knife. I mentioned, if you listen to the, if you listened to the podcast with Notorious EDC, Tom and we talked about the QSP Penguin, and I mentioned to him, like, that's what I've been carrying a little bit lately. One of my Instagram homies, I think we decided that we're going to call them internet friends, turned me on to this one. So if you guys don't follow Zach, his handle is Zach Likes Knives. Very, very straightforward. But Zach hit me up one day. He had it and was kind of preaching it, and was just blown away by the action and the quality and all this stuff. And he was like, man, for a budget blade, it's great. And I didn't realize exactly how much these were. And he hit me up to do some work on one, and it was like a $30 knife. So I was like, man, so I didn't charge him what I would normally charge for this stuff, but because again, it was an inexpensive knife, and I wanted to try it. And so I said, hey, just shoot me a few bucks for return shipping. And when you order, because he was going to order one and send it straight to me, I said, when you order it, just throw another one in the cart, because I want to check it out. I mean, you've done a great job of selling me on this thing. And so when I got them in, he got the jean micarta, the denim micarta, which I'm not a fan of denim micarta, but I will say that this one is very well done, and I would probably consider it. And then they have just linen micarta. Just, I don't know if it's OD or just natural linen micarta, whatever. It's pretty dark, but it's a sheep's foot blade. It's D2 steel. It's on PB washers, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But anyways, it's $29.66. You can order it from Knives Plus, knivesplus.com. This is not, again, no sponsor with Knives Plus or Blade HQ or anybody, but this is just where I get my stuff. But yeah, so it's a D2 sheep's foot blade, linen micarta handles. And the fit and finish on this thing for $29 is absolutely nuts. Like, it's unbelievable. The jean micarta one of Zach's, when I opened it up, because I wanted to check it out, and then I had to tear it down, the action was super snappy right out of the box, and it was pretty much drop shut. Like, I mean, it was pretty smooth. Mine was a little stiffer, but it's broken in since then. I've taken it apart and put it back together a couple of times. And I've put this thing through the ringer. I mean, I tore down, I don't know how many boxes over the last couple of weeks, because we've been ordering so much stuff instead of going and buying it. But I'll throw all the boxes in the garage and let them pile up for a few days or a week, and then I'll just go to town. And I mean, this thing it's incredible. It's held up so well. And again, for the money, I'm just going to add one to the cart. I just want to see what shipping and everything is. And now I'm in Texas and they're in Texas. So I think I'm going to have to pay tax, and you guys might not. I don't know how that works. But with shipping and tax and everything, $36.43 is what I'm looking at. Cannot stress enough how ridiculous of a deal this is. If you're not already, go follow Zach and check out this QSP penguin. Now what's interesting, so I started to look into QSP, and after he told me about them, so I searched them, and the first one that comes up is the penguin, and then the very next one's $117, and then $38, and $117, and $88, and $49, and $20.97. So their prices are pretty well all over the place, and I just can't. There's one for 120. There's one for 66. I don't get it. I don't know. I'd be interested to check out like the QSP Pelican knife QS 118. This is like a nicer flipper version instead of the thumb stud. It is S35VN black micarta liner lock. It's a flipper. It's $117. I'd be interested to see what the difference in quality is from a $30 knife of theirs to a $120 knife. Now Zach said he did get the Parrot, which is the $21 knife, and he said it was not quite as nice as the Penguin. Still good for a $20 knife, but the Penguin is really kind of a standout in that it's $29.66, and it's just incredibly well built. The fit and finish on it's insane. So I know I've been rambling about this thing, but definitely go check it out. So again, if you guys are in the market, or you're just bored and you're tired of being quarantined and you want to find a knife to scratch that, itch for now, those are definitely some ones to check out. Don't know if this is the kind of thing you guys are into, but I felt like I had to talk about it. So that's really it. That's all I got for today. I hope you guys are staying safe. Wash your hands, and be sure to subscribe. Shoot me a DM if there's anything else that you guys want me to talk about. Otherwise, we'll speak very, very soon. Peace.